Hello folks, and welcome once again as always to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Join myself and Mrs H here in our living room on this fine evening where, as the title suggests, unfortunately we've tested positive for COVID-19, haven't we, Mrs H?
Yeah.
So we're now in self-isolation. I think, what day are we on? Is it day 3?
Oh, it depends on which one of us it is. I'm on 5, you're on 4.
I thought it went off whenever you did the lateral flow test. And we did that all together.
Isn't it from when we all started our symptoms?
Oh, I don't know. We'll leave that in the comments below for people to correct us. But, we've been away to Mablethorpe over the past week and we've had a good time in the main, haven't we, Mrs H?
Yeah, it's been really nice.
You know, the weather wasn't too bad. It's just that towards the end, we started off, all the family, with a bit of a cold. Toby started off with it, first of all. And it just spread through the rest of us, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was just a bit of a cold. It was sneezing and a bit hot and a bit sneezy, and that was it. So we didn't really think much of it at first.
And in fairness to Toby, he's a kid. He's running in and out of the chalet with nothing on his feet. He's been out on the beach. He doesn't want to put a jacket on. And he burns up when he gets a bit of a cold, doesn't he, our lad?
Yeah, well, first day, he went fully clothed into sea, didn't he?
Yeah, so we put it down to that. And I think that night he wanted you, didn't he?
Yeah.
When it broke out on him. And then the following day, you came down with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I started with sneezing fits and runny nose.
But we soldiered on, didn't we? We soldiered on, and then Mr H came down with it as well. Now, I don't know about you, Mrs H, but I wasn't thinking, hey, this could be COVID. You know, this could be this Omicron that's going around. No. I just put it down to being a cold. But towards the end of the holiday, we was ready for home, wasn't we? We just wanted to get back. And unfortunately, our worst symptoms came the day we had to leave.
Yeah, the loading up of the car and the driving back.
You know when the big clock's ticking towards 10 o'clock. Why 10 o'clock? Why do they choose 10 o'clock, Mrs.
No idea.
If anybody out there has a chalet, tell us why it's 10 o'clock. That always seems to be the kick-out time, doesn't it? Yeah,
I can kind of understand that, though, and it's these like big chalet parks. But we were in somebody that owned it on their own. There was no, it wasn't like a team of cleaners turn up at 10 o'clock. No, it was one person's chalet.
No. And when you come to think about it, you would hope that there's not somebody waiting with the suitcases unless we leave, they're coming in.
I think they were doing that.
Well, anyway, we had to make the journey back, which is about 3 hours, isn't it, from the Lincolnshire coast back.
Longest 3 hours ever.
But luckily, we didn't hit any traffic.
No.
Now, when we arrived back home, the first thing Mrs H did was go and break out the lateral flow test, wasn't it?
It was, only because we wanted a couple of days, we wanted a day, just me and you going out, didn't we? I was going to let Mum and Dad have Toby.
Yeah.
But with us not being well, we wanted to just make sure that it wasn't COVID, it was just, a bit of a cold. Although I think we had the suspicions at that point with the temperatures and stuff that we'd had.
Well, all the symptoms was coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my symptoms was I've never felt hot and cold at the same time. My top half, hot potters here, was freezing to the point where I was like chattering. But my bottom half, I was kicking my shoes off. They were boiling. Like I got my feet in bowls of hell. It was very strange.
But I was the opposite way up because my legs were freezing and my head, I had that Toby's vest on my head. I run it under a cold tap so it was freezing and put it on my head and it was cooking.
Yeah, I could have fried an egg on your head. Yeah. But anyway, when we got back, we started off doing the lateral flow test. So Mrs H went first and it came up like that. So she come marching into me because Toby had fell asleep in the car, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And you'd done it in the car and you said, well, that was expected. So, no, I've never done one. Throughout the pandemic, I've never done any kind of test, have I?
No PCR, no lateral flow, nothing.
No, so obviously this was my first attempt and I thought I'm going to flunk this, I'm going to end up not doing it right. But, so we thought, right, we might as well see if it's a full set, and we did Toby, didn't we?
Yeah, wait for him to wake up and then...
Yeah, of course, we didn't go sticking it up his nose, did we?
No.
But it's come up positive as well.
Although he calls them snotty nose tests.
Yeah, that is funny, that. That is funny.
It's a snotty nose test.
I do apologise, it has affected my throat, it's not my my normal dulcet tones. My voice just sounds rough.
Yeah, it's today's symptom. I think every day we've had something different, haven't we?
We have.
You've lost your voice today, and I've lost my sense of smell today.
Yeah. It's a very strange sensation. People liken it to having flu. I wouldn't say it's like flu, to be honest.
I don't know. When I got the flu that New Year's, I was just laid on the couch and wouldn't move. One of the days was like that. We're kind of on the other side of it now, aren't we, where it's kind of just the symptoms left. And I bet, you know what, if we tested tomorrow, we'd possibly very faint lines or even none.
Probably I'm comparing it to man flu. That's probably what it is, Mrs. H.
True.
But I must admit, it did. I've never experienced anything like it, but for some strange reason, it hit you harder.
It did, and I'm the one that's had all the vaccines. I've had my 3, and yet...
Where I was, no. And I'll be honest with you, Hot Potters, it was mainly because I was frightened of the way I'd react to it. You know, you heard these stories of people with blood clots, etc., and I thought, I don't want to be in that small percentage. That's why I wouldn't have it. But, you know, unfortunately now, you know, I've caught it. I suppose I will end up with antibodies though, won't I? So every that's a silver lining type of thing. But, I mean, how did you feel when that happened? Did you think to yourself, why am I getting harder symptoms than, you know, Orchid Joe over there, meaning me?
No, because I was a day ahead of you. So I just thought, you're going to get them soon anyway. I think we've had similar symptoms. I've just had the bad headache, which you've not had. But you've had the bad chest. You know, the coughing stuff up, whereas I'm not as bad with that.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, the Hot Potters, when I normally get a cold, what happens is I go to bed at night when it breaks out. Because I lie down, without sounding too disgusting, it ends up on my chest. Because you lied down, and I thought, if I let that happen this time, you know, it's a game over. So I've been sleeping in chairs ever since this has broke, haven't I?
Yeah.
Which isn't doing me any good, really. You know, I'm sore. You have to put some heat rub on me, haven't you?
Yeah.
But better that than ending up fighting for breath. So as soon as it's loose, I'm getting rid of it. Like I said, I don't want to be too, you know, you can fill in the blanks yourselves, Hot Potters. But it's certainly something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I will be honest.
No, it's not been good, has it?
Mrs. H was a bit quiet there, so maybe she would. I don't know. I don't know, but I know I wouldn't. What I will say is, there was always a lot of talk, you know, about people saying, you know, it's fake, it's not real. Well, once you experience it yourself, you know damn well it is a real thing, isn't it?
I think, though, now there's many people that know there is something, because, you know, nearly everybody's had it. We were quite lucky that none of us in our family, including parents, have had it.
No.
You know, we've all managed to keep ourselves safe, even with, you know, us both kind of working front of house in places. Yeah. You know, me as education and within your job role. And surprisingly, we haven't caught it because we come into contact with a lot of people.
We do, yeah. And although we're saying that about our family, your cousin's ended up with it recently, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And then
but then she works in a hotel. And
your uncle, you know, her father, but they don't live in the same household,
no.
So they've not caught it off each other. And then, you know, the H's.
Yeah. But it's really unusual for us, I think, from what I've read of things, to us all catch it at the same point. Because generally, you're catching it off somebody in your household. I think we read it was a 12% likelihood. But to all catch it within like 12 hours of each other, we all came down with the symptoms within 12 hours, didn't we, that were noticeable.
What it is, you see, Mrs. H, we're a very close family, and we do everything together.
We've all touched the same thing, let's be honest, which can only be that chalet.
Well, I don't like to point fingers, but you did find.
I did.
You did find one of these, didn't you?
I did. When we was on our way out, so a bit too late at that point, obviously we're taking all bedding off at bed, and there's one of these lateral flow tests next to bed.
Which was negative.
It was negative, but why would somebody take it when you're on holiday?
Well, when you come to think about it, if somebody's gone in there at some point, and we'll just say as the last occupants, because it's a revolving door, if they've had it, they've passed it on to us. We've now passed it on to the next person, and so on and so forth. It's never going to end, is it?
No.
You know, the only way to break that, I suppose, would be, if you could identify that it had come from there, is to close it for so long, deep clean it, keep it empty, and then there'd definitely be nothing in there.
But then the way schools are working, just to play devil's advocate on that, is nobody was in that property for 2 days before we went, because the last person left on I think it was the Wednesday, and we checked in on the Saturday. And schools are saying over the weekend that that's breaking the cycle, but that was a 2-day break, and if that we did catch it from the property,
well, it
don't work, does it?
No, you don't know, do you? I mean, a lot of information that we're still using is what was being given at the beginning of the pandemic. We now know more about how it works and how it survives. But it's certainly been a rough ride.
It has.
It's been different. You know, but
I just hope we are all over the worst of it now, and
well, that's your fear, because you know you laid there hours anyway, because that first night I stayed up, and I'm in chalet, and I was a bit delirious, to be honest. I was watching Last of the Summer Wine, and I don't remember much of it. It just all runs into one.
Yeah.
But you're thinking, if this is worst, I could live with this. Not forever, but I could get through it. And you're looking for that next thing. You're hoping that something more severe doesn't come, because we all hear the media stories. You know, you're going to be short of breath. This is going to happen, and you're waiting for it.
yeah.
And when you get in that, there's a little bit of the is it psychosomatic, where you end up thinking, well, was that a cough? Am I? Yeah, my chest is rattling a bit. You know, it's touch wood. I've had mild symptoms up to now, and I hope that stays that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only had one coughing fit where I struggled, but it was only one bit where we were sat here and I had a bit of a cough. But it's not been a constant all the way through, has it?
No. And the way it was portrayed, especially in the beginning, was, you know, if you catch it, that's it, it's game over, you know, you're going to die. Go and get yourself booked in with Undertaker, you know, bye-bye type of thing. And yes, unfortunately, people have had severe reactions to it, but lots of other people have recovered. They are now admitting most people will only have a mild response to it, whether vaccinated or unvaccinated. Of course, they then turn around and tell you, you know, you're 8 times more likely to get a blood clot, yada, yada, yada. Not that I want to hear that.
No.
But no, as soon as I did it, I didn't go, you know, ringing my GP up and begging them to give me a vaccine and things like that. I made my choice. I stand by it. You know, it's there's not much you can do at that point, is there?
No. I'm just interested to see if, because you're not vaccinated, whether you bounce back as quickly as somebody who is vaccinated.
Yeah, but then again, you see, it all depends on the individual. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 48 now, and I'm not the fittest of blokes. So, you have to take that into consideration. Then again, we've heard these stories of bodybuilders and people at the peak of the, you know, fitness, and they've dropped dead from it. It's a lottery, isn't it?
It is.
It really is. But hopefully, we will get better very soon, and I'll be back with you, Hot Potters. Now, I did manage to do a couple of videos, didn't we?
Yeah.
I won't go into it too much. I won't spoil it for you. But I've just not got the energy to edit them up. You know, as Mrs. H will confirm here, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when I come to me editing. I like it being just so. I'm not saying I'm the best editor in the world, but I put it out, and I always like it being how I would like to view a video. So I'm my own worst critic, really. So if I've not got the patience, I'm not just going to throw it together and just put it up there, because then I'll always look at it and say, I wish I'd have done that differently. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait. Likewise, because we've not got the oomph to do things, if people do leave comments, I'm not being ignorant if I don't reply to you. It's just simply, I've hardly been on the internet, haven't I, Mrs. H?
Yeah, can't be bothered, can you? You put it on and then think, I can't be bothered doing anything.
Exactly. So, I always do try and reply to people because you've taken the time to comment, especially if you're sending well wishes and that. But it's sucked all the energy out of us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad when you've got your paracetamols in you.
Well, that's it. Like you said regarding paracetamols, you can only take them so many hours, can't you?
Yeah, 4 hours.
Meanwhile, you're burning up 2 hours in.
Yeah, yeah, at the worst. We now get to the point where you can go 4 hours without paracetamol, but at the beginning it was every 2 hours. We're like, I need something.
Them were good though, what you got, those with caffeine in them.
Yeah.
If ever you, them are good then. Them are good, but yeah, that's just it really. It's, we're part of the club now, Mrs H.
Yep, we've joined everybody else that's had it.
Yeah. Late to the party, of course. I mean, it's so 2020, isn't it?
I know, I still wanted to have that badge that I never caught it.
yeah, there's that. And it's been our luck as well. Number one, it's happened on our holidays. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
But way back when, at least you could get time off work. Where you can't now. It's just classed as like, any other illness.
Yeah. You're penalised for it.
Well, that's most workplaces now. That's most workplaces, But the other thing is I'm not too comfortable with is that because it takes so long for it to come out, you're walking around for a bit.
Yeah.
You know that you've unwittingly probably infected other people.
And probably a lot. You've got to think what we've just been doing in Mablethorpe for the last
we've been
week.
to slots, we've been on beach, we've been...
Restaurants, we haven't ate in. We've been talking to people on that chalet park that we was at, which were elderly people, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we've not done it because we've been, raffish and I've got it so everybody can have it. It's just simply we didn't know we had it at that point because it takes so long for it to come through. But hopefully we've not infected people, but we'll never know at least.
Yeah.
Right then, I think we'll wrap it up there, Mrs H. It's just a bit of a video, this. Mainly for us to be able to look back on and, a bit of an interesting episode.
Yeah.
In sickness and in health, Mrs H.
Yeah. Let me out of here.
Until the next time, Hot Potters, which hopefully will be very soon when I'm feeling a lot better and not as croaky. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.